What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the obviously awesome Dr. Disaster, and it looks like Paramount still has not learned their lesson when it comes to Star Trek. They are bound and determined to run the franchise into the ground. Picard Season 3 was the only good thing to come out of the franchise in the past couple of decades, but rather than build on that success, they've gone right back to the same old woke shit.
You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow.
The trailer for their new show, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, just dropped this weekend, and in the rollout for this show, they have completely embarrassed themselves. For example, they showed us this character design, a sensitive-looking Klingon who looks more likely to read you his latest diary entry than to defend his honor in battle. But the worst thing about this design is this right here. The dude's name is literally Jaden, but with a hyphen in the middle.
I'm sorry.
Probably the most offensive design, though, is the HR lady version of the Jem'Hadar. This is a species that is literally genetically engineered to be all male, but the complete clown show over at Paramount just cannot help themselves. I'm sure they'll say that this is a male character, but which self-identifies as a girl boss because of its fifis, and we'll get episodes telling us how this is beautiful or some shit.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
And here's another character that absolutely screams that this is not a show that was made for me. As it says in the image of this tweet, this show has clearly gone full Gen Z, rather than cater to longtime fans of the franchise and hope that we naturally pass our love of the franchise on to our children. They continue their fruitless attempts to cut out the middleman and attract the new generation on their own. And as a result of this asinine display, the trailer that just dropped has gotten absolutely spanked, being ratioed right away.
Oh shit.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I've also started uploading some content onto Rumble too, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster over there. But anyhow, let's talk about this new Star Trek show. The thing is, Paramount has long been attempting to do what Star Wars has also been trying to do. They are trying an end around on the longtime fans of their franchises. Instead of putting in the work and trying to appeal to those of us with actual writing standards, the sort of people who are going to see a female Jem'Hadar, for example, and point out how full of shit these writers are, these insufferable cockroaches at Paramount instead want to appeal to the younger generation directly, but it just isn't working at all. My kids, for example, enjoy sitting down every once in a while and watching an old episode from Next Generation, but they aren't seeking out the new stuff on their own. Their enthusiasm for the franchise is filtered through me. If I had loved the new stuff and shown it to them, then this franchise would have had a chance. But as Trekkies age out, this franchise is dying off. Star Wars is the same way. My kids love the original George Lucas films, but they just don't give a shit about any of the new Disney stuff. It is clear that these IPs are being left to die on the vine. Case in point, look at the numbers for this trailer for Star Trek Starfleet Academy. After about a day and a half of being released, at the time of this recording, this trailer is sitting at a little over 350,000 views, and they have been ratioed already, sitting at 5,500 likes to 8.3 thousand dislikes. Sure, there are the die-hard Trekkies out there who will just automatically consume anything that the franchise pumps out like gluttons who can't keep their hands out of the fridge, but most people do not like this shit at all. Now, let's take a look at some of the comments from this trailer because I think it is freaking hilarious. This guy here wrote, "Too bad Paramount is the exact opposite of what Star Trek stands for," and then this next person wrote, "This looks exactly how I knew it would and hoped it wouldn't. Why does modern Star Trek look like a juiced up Apple store?" And then this person here wrote, "Literally the last thing this franchise needs at this point, more hugs and tears and youth vibes and at least 27 you got this and you're amazing per episode. My kingdom for a serious, mature, modern Star Trek with officers and crew showing each other respect and discipline." But the makers of this show cannot do that because this is obviously being written by millennial writers, and they can't take anything seriously except their need to constantly validate everyone's existence on the basis of their immutable characteristics. Everything else is treated with utter sarcasm and completely unseriously because these writers aren't really fans of the series in a traditional sense. This is the sort of thing, this show, that someone who wants to appear to be a fan would write, when in reality they just don't understand the camaraderie and tension between characters that longtime Trekkies demand. Anyhow, I really couldn't find much of anything positive about the show in the comment section of the trailer. This guy here wrote, for example, "I can barely wait to ignore this series." And then this person said, "Cater to the 1%, lose the 99%. Starfleet cadets standing at attention during training, shouting, 'Duty, honor, service.' Yeah, no, that's exactly the kind of image Star Trek never was, and more importantly, never wanted to be. And that's exactly correct. That moment in the trailer where everybody was shouting, 'Duty, honor, service,' that gave Starfleet a really militaristic vibe that absolutely screams that the writers do not understand what the mission and purpose of the show was." But then this person here wrote, "Why is he whistling that tune? Do they have Star Trek in Star Trek?" And this guy is referring to the end of the video where a character is whistling the Star Trek theme, and that completely embodies everything that I've been talking about. This is a franchise which, under the direction of Kurtzman, simply refuses to take itself seriously. This is an IP which the fans have abandoned in droves, and that makes me sad because I have such great memories of watching The Next Generation back when it came out on TV when I was a kid, and I was filled with such hope when I watched it because I loved seeing a portrayal of what these writers imagined back in the day, what they thought that we as a species could become. The writers of today, though, act as though we as a species have already reached some level of perfection, because what we see on the screen in Star Trek nowadays is simply a reflection of the modern, urban, shit-lib society that these people have had their brains rotted with. And I'm just not interested at all, and it looks like most people agree with me. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of this new Star Trek series into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.